Hello, how are you? I'm Daniel from Santuário Lunar, and in this video I'm going to talk about psychic vampires. I'm going to show you 10 types of psychic vampires, how to identify them, how to protect yourself against them, and how to heal them if you are interested. During the video I'm also going to talk about my personal experiences with psychic vampires and how everything was solved in the end. Let's see it. What are psychic vampires? Psychic vampires are people who drains or who tries to drain our energy. Differently from the classic vampire representation who drains blood, psychic vampires drains energy, which is vital too. During history, we have some representations like incubus and succubus who also drained energy, and the psychic vampires work in a similar way. And who are these psychic vampires? That's the key point in this subject. Anyone can be a psychic vampire, and sometimes the most dangerous one are the closest to us, like family members, colleagues, or people who we meet every day. So in the beginning, it may be difficult to deal with, but once we know one thing or two, you can handle it easily. How to identify a psychic vampire? Identifying a psychic vampire is easy. Once you know one thing or two, no problem at all. I'm going to talk about 10 types of psychic vampires, and sometimes one single vampire can show more than one of these types. And sometimes we show ourselves these types. So it's good to think about it, because maybe we are a psychic vampire and we don't know it. So it's a good thing to work it, to improve it in our lives. So if you identify yourself with some of these, don't get desperate. It's not bad. It's just we're just humans. We can and we must improve. The helper. The helper is that kind of vampire that always wants to help you, no matter what. That kind of person that is always close to you when something bad happens, remember. And I know you know someone who does this. And it's an event, and it looks like the person is your guardian angel, is always close to you, but no. It's just creating a web of lies to manipulate the situation and to drain your energy. The best way to fight these kind of vampires is just saying no thanks. Try to remember any situation when someone got close to you and create a problem. Of course, you didn't know the person created the problem. And then, I can help you. I know what to do. Please follow me. Or no thanks. Next time, no thanks. And the reaction will be there are many different kinds of reactions, but usually the vampire gets aggressive, will start to shout or start to create a confusion, because psychic vampires hate to listen and no thanks. And an interesting case I have with this is last year I was walking with my dog Vanessa, who's not among us anymore, and a neighbor, when I was coming back, she saw us, and oh my god, what a beautiful dog, can I touch her? Yes, if she allows, you can touch her. And the neighbor noticed that Vanessa had a swollen ear, but I was already healing that swollen ear with a natural ointment. 2 days of healing was enough. And the neighbor made such a confusion about that. No, because your dog needs to get a surgery, because your dog is suffering. I can help you. I know a good doctor. I know a good taxi driver who can take your dog. It's only 1 hour by car to a clinic. And I said, no, I think it's not necessary. Don't worry. 5 minutes after, she rang my doorbell. I opened the door. She was holding a pack of medicines. And she said, you have to heal your dog. You have to make your dog must undergo a surgery, and I can help you. I'm the one. I know all about dogs. You don't know. She's suffering. Yes, as I just said, no thanks. I thank you. I appreciate you want to help my dog, but no thanks. If I need your help, I can ask. She transformed. She showed her true colors and left. So every time you deal with this kind of vampire, just say politely, no thanks. I can do it myself. And it's true, you can do everything you want, so you don't need anyone to help you. If it's a vampire, of course. never, you never need. The Manipulator. The Manipulator is that kind of vampire that organizes events, organize parties, and this kind of vampire, he likes to join, to gather people together, because he never attacks a single person. He likes groups. And you never know this vampire unless you are a victim, because it's very hard to spot this. You're a vampire. No, this one is a little hard. But once you know a person is this kind of vampire, the manipulator things, just don't enter their schemes. It's easy once you know, of course. So if this vampire is someone from your group, for example, a group of friends, and this one always organizes the reunions, don't allow this person to organize reunions anymore. Okay? It's simple once you know. And don't worry, you never attack you alone, only groups. That's a characteristic. The selfish. Selfishness is a characteristic present in all kinds of psychic vampires, but this one specifically takes selfishness to the extreme. And the attacks this vampire causes are straight to the victim's weak points. So, for example, they are the best ones and forever for everything, but they are not actually. They don't want to study, they don't want to improve their lives, they don't want to do anything. All they can do and all things they do is to try to put people down so they can feel higher, in a higher position. That's when they drain the energy. So to find this kind of vampires, you must believe in yourself above everything else. So they will quite likely say you are not capable of doing this, you're not good doing this, stop trying to do this, stop trying to do this. But if you believe in yourself, if you have your opinions, you know it's a lie. You are capable of doing everything you want. You can do everything you want. You can be whoever you want to be. So don't listen to this vampire, and everything's solved. The exaggerated one. The exaggerated vampire is that one that causes drama for everything. A door slams, the wind blows, I don't know, there's a shooting star coming in our direction, oh my god, we're going to die. And this kind of vampire is so dramatic that it creates a stage for a show where all the other people around starts to enter this drama vibe, and they start fighting against themselves. So to fight back these vampires, you must be calm and patient, and nothing can disturb you. Once you know everything is calculated, once you know everything's programmed to disturb you, don't enter this energy, don't get involved. But the problem is, the other people are involved. And if you are the odd one, they will start to attack you too. So you have two options: or you help the others, you explain, no, don't fall, this is just drama, nothing happens, or you just leave the place. If you cannot help, just leave the place and save yourself, because sometimes it's the best option or the only option. The Scoffer. Remember at school, a group of people that used to make fun of you all the time, making bullying? Yes, they were all mini vampires. They were in training. And at school, we didn't know how to protect ourselves, so they could get our energy. After school time, we find this kind of vampires at work, and sometimes they are bosses. Because this kind of vampires, he likes to make fun of people, to humiliate people, and they don't measure anything. But they need a stage. They need an audience. They will never attack you alone. They need people to see because that's how it gets energy. And how to fight it? Just try to make fun back because they cannot stand the same situation. They are too, I don't know, underdeveloped. I don't know how to put this in a word. If they make fun of you, make fun back. They cannot handle it. They don't know how, so they get stressed and they probably call the police. They try to sue you or anything else. The complainer. Do you know this device? This is the "I'll tell you all my problems" device. The complainer loves a cell phone and it uses as a main tool to send and deliver problems, to disturb people and to drain energy. If you have a complainer in your life, a close person, like a family person, and you cannot cut your relations with, just try to say something like, "Do you have any good news today?" If you don't have any good news, please don't send me any news at all. And it creates a wall between you and the vampire, and the vampire eventually stops trying to drain your energy and goes to another victim. Another characteristic from the complainer is that everything you say you like, it's bad. Once I tweeted a long time ago, I tweeted, "It's raining and I love the rain." And a person wrote me like, "You cannot say whether you like the rain or not. Only people who lost everything in floods can say it." So if I say I like the sun, probably the same person will write, "You cannot say if you like the sun or not, because only people who are thirsty can say if the sun is good." The best way to confront these vampires is not to talk with them. Just ignore, because this kind of people is impossible to deal with. Yeah? So try to do this if you know any complainer psychic vampire. Just ignore him. Simple. The Smart Aleck. Shh, shut up. I know you don't. Can you believe I listened to this coming from a member from a group that used to discuss the law of attraction here in Rio? It was some years ago. I was invited to go to discuss the law of attraction and its benefits, and I went. So I was getting to know people there because I only knew one person, the one who invited me. And I sat beside a very nice woman, and she was telling me her experiences and all that she was practicing. Another woman, the one who organized the group, see, a former vampire we discussed about, she shouted with so much angry. Sorry, the Portuguese. "Cala a boca, eu que sei." Shut up, I know. What do you know, dear? I didn't know how to react to that, because if I knew people there, of course I wouldn't stay quiet. I would ask, "What do you know, my dear?" Tell us. Feel free to tell us and show all your love and your attention. But no, I was the intruder there, so I just remained quiet, and I learned this there. When you fight against this kind of vampires that knows everything, Just don't argue. Just say, okay. Feel free to speak. Because everything you say, everything you try to say, everything you propose, everything at all, it won't be good. The only thing this vampire wants is you to fight back with words. Say, no, but this is not like this. This should be done like this. And what if you consider... No. It's okay. You know. Good for you. The Inquirer. This kind of vampire wants to know everything about you. Where are you now? Where are you going to go? What are your plans for the next few hours? What are your plans for the next year? And they use this against you. So, if you are a victim of this kind of vampire, it's because you allow it. It's because you tell it. It's because you give the gun to the assassin and say, "Shoot me." It's like a suicide. When you have plans, of course you have plans. So the plans you have, the dreams you have, the projects you have, the achievements you have are yours. You can share them, yes, but only with people you know you can trust. Only people you know will be happy for you. Because if you start spreading, a vampire will attack. And probably your plans are going to fail. And this is a fact. And think about, we have Facebook where people expose everything, all their plans. Facebook is a vampire field, a psychic vampire field. It's easy to find. If you're a vampire looking for victim, go to Facebook, you find lots of victims. So if you are a victim, keep mum. Just talk to people you know you are sure they are going to be happy for you. Simple. The abandoned. This is the worst kind of psychic vampire because it's usually a close person and a node person. And only you can identify this kind of vampire. Nobody can help you because the relation is usually so close that if a stranger tells you, this is a vampire, be careful, you won't believe. So you have to see for yourself. This kind of vampire, it uses the distance and time as weapons to attack the victims. For example, they use the I'll tell you my problems device, but they invent a problem that never existed. And the victim, who is far, will never know if it's true or not. And we start thinking about, what can I do to help? How can I help? Or I cannot help because I'm too far and this is bad, it hurts me. And when the victim have this kind of thinking, the energy goes to the vampire. That's the trap. So only you can identify this. So when you know that a close person is lying and probably creating these situations only for you to give your energy, and just block, don't believe. I know it's not like this. I know this person is exaggerating. I know this person is not telling the truth, only to get me involved in these tricks. But I won't fall. The important one. This kind of vampire is that kind of people that always find something to say, mine is better than yours. And they find the most strange things just to make this, to compare and to win. So they can say something like, the book I read is better than yours, or my glass has got more water than yours. And the victims, sometimes we feel like, really, mine is not good. But no, we don't have to feel like this. They are just provoking to get energy. The best way to fight this kind of vampire is just to say, okay, yours is better. Congratulations, I'm happy for you. Yes, the vampire gets so angry or start a drama, like I said, the possible reactions. But it's none of your business. You have already blocked the channel. The energy is not going to be drained. How to protect yourself in a general way. A very good way to protect yourself in your daily life, at school, at work, anywhere, is to carry a onyx or a black tourmaline. I always carry a black tourmaline. Always. It's a rule for me to carry a black tourmaline with me. And I've seen the black tourmaline explode sometimes. So don't get scared if it happens. 2 years ago, I entered a project here in Rio, a charity project. And in the beginning, everything was perfect, but then I discovered that the director, she was a vampire. And the project was a way she created to gather 30 victims at the same place. I couldn't afford her. I couldn't face her, sorry. I couldn't tell anyone, oh, she's a vampire. Nobody would believe me. So I started carrying a black tourmaline in every encounter. And then once she was talking with me, I held my black tourmaline secretly. And then I noticed she was looking at the ground. So I looked too, because you never know. And it was full of black dust. The tourmaline broke in my hand. I didn't feel it, and it was falling apart. She got scared. I don't know if she knew what was happening. I don't know what passed inside her mind, but she never tried to attack me again, and it was very good. So we carried the project until the end, and I disappeared from her life and she disappeared from my life too. So it was very good. Another way to protect yourself is a simple spell that I learned in a website called White Dragon. Is that you visualize the person, the vampire, and you say the following: whatever it is that you send to me, I send you back 3 times 3. Don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me, don't fuck with me. And you say this 3 times 2. It's perfect. And if you are doing this for a person which is not a vampire by accident, no problem, because you give back the energy, which if it's love energy, the person will receive love energy back. So no problem at all. And another good technique is to say this spell, to cast this spell looking to the person, looking to a vampire. It causes a commotion. It's interesting. If the person starts to trick you into losing your energy, just look at in the eye and say, it's great. How to heal a psychic vampire. If you really want to heal a psychic vampire, you can. But you have to have a lot of patience and energy and these. Because it's not an easy task. I don't recommend. I've seen tragedies happening because a very dear person was spent his entire life trying to heal psychic vampires from his family, and it didn't work. Why? Because I believe that everyone has the right to choose a path to follow. So it's not fair to, for example, I think it's better for you to be like this. No, I cannot decide for you. I can show you options, but you can choose the ones you want or not. And the vampires, they are happy the way they are. That's the thing. So it's really complicated. But if you really want to help, if you have hope and persistence, you can try. You can be a good listener. You can listen to the person's problems. You can try to guide the conversation into a healthy conversation, and try to show the person that there is a good way out, a good option to follow, a happier life or something like this. If the person wants, yes, you achieved your goal. But that's the thing. If the person doesn't want to become a better person, there's nothing you can do, I'm afraid. But if you want to try to help, feel free. I don't recommend. So this is it. This was all about psychic vampires. If you liked the video, please leave a comment below, a thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow Santuário Lunário on Pinterest. There's an image for you to keep in your folders about these 10 types of vampires. Right? Thank you. See you.